there's a big difference between a 5D mystic and the 4D individuals. And they are considering themselves obviously mystics because they tap into the sphere of consciousness and have clairs, but there's a difference. And also I want to add, scientifically, with all the pseudoscience lady that I am, I'm going to say quantum physics, physics, neuroscience. There's a lot of different 5D educators who explain very easily, straightforwardly, why we have clairs. So the channeling guidance and how the brain works. Not with the reptilian stories. I just watched something very concerning, which I know is out there, and people comparing human traffickers to actual reptilian aliens. And I'm not going to get into it, just say here's the difference. A 5D mystic knows that's completely off the radar to talk about a human being as a reptilian or an alien. Any of that gibberish is something we know, no. And 5D mystics also know this whole group of people who have a belief system which is enclosed in a timeline of the lovely religions. You leave it alone. It's not ours to talk about. Even when people use the word God, they should not use it with the word universe or source, which instead 4D keep on talking about things and mixing different religious belief systems with the metaphysics esotericism. So here's where 5D, again, mystics, we don't mix up timelines, and we don't talk about human beings as something other than human. So this is why energy vampires, they don't exist. These are people. A 5D mystic will automatically be a compassionate person. And so with clairs or no clairs, don't matter. It's a person who has their humanity, a heart, a self in the forefront. Now, again, neuroscience, lovely educators. I've learned a lot of things. One of them is Patrick McNamara. You can look him up or ask me about it. He talks about demonic possession. It's not demonic possession. Something happens in the human being's brain while we're sleeping. Our REM sleep tries to organize trauma memory into normal, meaning it tries to heal itself. So it's a physical process. I'm okay with the term pseudoscience lady because here's where mystics are. We do have experiences that are in that sphere of Clairland. So let me get to it because I actually have a very beautiful message for my lovely new moon today for my 5D. So I don't think it's going to show it to you. For some reason, TikTok has not allowed me to do the mirror thing, but butterfly spirit. And there's a reason why I'm sharing the butterfly. It's not to focus necessarily on the message of this lovely oracle card from my spiritual animal deck. I forget the name of it, but I'll find it. I have it far away and I can't have. I need my glasses. So anyways, tarot readers that are 5D mystics, we use tarot the same way anybody else does in the mysticism land, but the difference is we always are stemming from the pure consciousness of Purusha Prakriti, unconditional love. It's this thing that we all have when we're in our mammalian heritage, our ventral vagal nervous system. So the whole reptilian, we also all have, every human being has a reptilian nervous system. It's when it's in its flight, fight, freeze response. So when people are yelling at each other and in their adaptive child and they have unresolved trauma stuff that comes up, and it's not just stuff, it's trauma memory. And it stays stored within our body, muscles, bones, tissues. Thank you, Peter Levine, for that data point in Bessel van der Kolk. Our brain is what translates what sensations come up. So, long story short, dysregulation and modulation, dysregulated, modulated, embodied individuals don't have a body that feels like heaven. To get there, first there's a buttload of good therapy that they can do and psychoeducation. So, people in 4D land need to stop talking about demons and devils and energy vampires and creating awful messages such as what I saw before we get to our actual transformation on this new moon again. I'm sharing it for a reason. And the 5D mystic label, it's not because we want to label, but there's a difference. I love when I get to do tarot consultations the 5D way, not the 4D people. No. And some people, they have other reasons for 4D, but the 4D that talk about energy vampires, talk about people like they're reptilian meat eater. Like, seriously, I don't even, I don't even know. Meaning, I understand when a person has not had exposure to intellectually intelligent information. What I don't understand, it's how a person gets there. And I'm a mystic. So again, that's why pseudoscience, give me all the labels you want. And that's from the empirical people. I appreciate them because they're the ones who I know will help people to stay grounded in what actually can have an effect in our lovely planet here, Earth. So I saw this thing. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe that they posted this. So this person who's apparently a manifestor, tarot reader, 4D plane, he says, or she says, I don't even know, or they say, because it's user, you are not doing well. Be careful. This had to find you before Friday night. You have a person very close to you who has been wishing for a long time for your downfall. They speak badly of you, envy your relationships, and watching you from a distance. They are doing a hex. And then this explains the unexpected stomach pains, sleepless nights. You must block all evil towards you and use this audio. No matter. Leave it private. You will see changes on Sunday. Now, this reminds me of scam emails. I got the first one when I was in college, and actually one of my friends almost fell for a scam email. And we got taught about this, and now I actually know a lot more about cybersecurity. And it's like, okay, I don't, again, know how people don't know certain things, and I'm not the smartest on the block. And so here's where, on this lovely new moon, I do have a special message for my 5D mystics, and that's just any person who has humanity in the forefront, so you know about compassion and love. Restorative embodied self individuals, which would be the 5D body type. It's not a body type by a list. It's just there's a difference because I've met 4D, 3D body types and other soul age groups. And they're not in the Enlightenment soul age group because they've not moved into integration of the brain completely and their complete restorative embodied self. But even if they did, the next step would be, I'm curious about more than just one subject matter, bringing together all subject matters, a lot of different elements. So that's why the 5D community, it's not only mystic, but there's also 5D educators. And we bring together different disciplines because they're all subject matters. We leave alone belief systems. In fact, whether it be religion or people who think that science is a one-done deal, we put them to the side. These are all one-focused individuals who are in their own little bandwidth. When a 5D mystic goes through their ascension, it's never painful. The ones who have the painful part, they get out of their shame cycle, their dysregulation, modulated, their human suffering, their unresolved trauma. These are people who began life like all of us with an attachment system at 0 years old that seeks to attach because that's the way that they explained attachment system, attachment researchers, actual professionals who study our brain and our bodies. They're scientist people, empirical, not me or any of the mystic in the middle. Okay, so they have information and the lovely technology. So when I got explained by a lovely person who is a therapist, they described butterfly transformation. I'm not going to have enough time. All I can say is like, okay, wow, that is horrible. What you just described sounds like if I was trying to pull out my own tooth. And this is what the 5D body type will never, ever know. I don't know that feeling. What I know when I remember and keep in mind this, it's awe and it's heaven and it's love. Versus what someone who begins at 0 years old and doesn't have the opportunity. So 5D mystics, tarot readers, Akashic writer, whatever it is that their cup of tea of their channeling, they will not use it in any way, shape, or form to perpetuate separation of consciousness and talk about people as if they're evil. They're not evil. They're human beings, and that word should not be used in any text except for, text, but people like to use it. So here's what evil. It's a poor human being who needs a very good somatic, sensory motor, and trauma therapist in a long journey where they would choose their own personal development. So please, lovely 5D mystics, let's join on in and be the compassionate Zen masters you all can be. Have a wonderful new moon. I hope this finds all of you well and share the love.